Hare Krishna. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Hare Krishna. What happens is after gaining this all chapters, now it's typically trying to explain to us how things are going to happen. But after a person becomes very humble and he he achieves certain state, he will be beyond this. Then there is no need of any logical explanations. We'll immediately understand things very clearly and easily. There is a great difference. Initially we need logic, but after that we don't need logic. That when heart becomes completely empty and with all these contaminations, it becomes pure, then the spiritual subject, spiritual content and all these things, they're all manifested. This is the system. Like now we say, why we had to chant Hare Krishna, why only Hare, why this sound, why not any other sound? So all these things will have doubts, but slowly this is a logical explanations, all these things which we are hearing here. Because and death is also very logically understood, the creation is also logically understood, everything can be logically understood. But when it comes to the spiritual subject, it is beyond logic. This world is cause and effect. This world has cause and effect. It's below the causal ocean, that's why it has cause and effect. Spiritual world is beyond cause and it is beyond logic. But we need some logic at least to come to Sattva. After that, we need to develop this humility, which is very, very important quality for making advancement. Somebody is very, very humble. For him, it becomes very easy to receive the knowledge. That is the process. Like one person goes to Buddha and he says, I want to gain knowledge. He says, no, 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 you cannot, I cannot give you. He said, no, please give me. "No, why you are not giving?" Then Buddha says, actually, no, there are four types of listeners. It's like he gives example of a pot with a hole. No matter how much you fill the pot, it drains away. Similarly, people, they hear, it does not enter the heart. It goes from other ear out. And then is a second is a person whose pot is upside down. No matter how much you are telling, it is not entering the system only. Third is a person whose pot is already filled with something else. For him, he cannot listen because his pot is already filled with some other knowledge. And the fourth category is a proper person. Heart pot is empty, it is properly placed, and he can accept it. Buddha says you are the third category. You are already having some conceptions. And most of us, we come in the third category only. We already have certain conceptions of reality, certain conceptions of this world. That is the reason for us that humility is what is the main factor. Somebody is very humble for him to accept and make progress because the knowledge is revealed in the heart for him. It is not just information. So here, Devahuti, she already 20th chapter now everything Lord explained, and but she want to know it in more detail. That's why the other three chapters are there. As such, whatever has to be told, if you see 25th chapter, Lord already explained, Lord Kapila. She wanted to know more details. Maybe for all of our sake, she wanted to explain, see the difference, how difficult it is, other processes. Like Archana also. He already knows, he's already a devotee. But for our sake, he was asking some questions. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Atate Sampravakshami Tattvanam Lakshanam Pratak Yad Viditva Vimucheta Purusha Prakritair Gunai. The personality of God Kapila continued, my dear mother, now I shall describe to you the different categories of absolute truth, knowing which any person can be released from the influence of modes of material nature. Now, this is important. Different categories of absolute truth means absolute truth should be one only. but it is understood at different levels based on different levels of consciousness. That is the point. The absolute truth is understood at different levels based on different. Like for a small child who is just few months old, for him, what is the truth? Truth is he has to drink milk of mother. That's all. He does not know anything more than that. And when we grow up, school is our world. We know that much only. Our truth is I have to do my homework and whole day I have to play. Why it is like that? It is based on consciousness. For him, a 4 5 years child, for him, he just know that he has to do some school, he has to go, do some homework, and then play, and then eat. He does not know what is happening around the world. There is a war going on. There is something, this thing. They don't know. Like sometimes we see in news that there is war is going on, and no, all these people are refugees. They have to leave their homes and they are going away from their homes. And we see that then there are refugee camps, and the children are there playing there. I think because what is happening is for children, they understand that much only. Their understanding of reality is that much. So here also, here that's the absolute truth is category based on what? Consciousness. And we have discussed on structural review, different levels. What Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur explained about different understandings of absolute truth based on consciousness. Now here Prabhupada says, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, one can understand the personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, only through devotional service. Bhaktyamam vijana. This is the highest. What here Prabhupada is speaking is the highest understanding of absolute truth. That means if you want to understand absolute truth as Krishna, then it is possible through Bhaktyamam vijanati. Only through devotional service. This is highest understanding. This is understanding the personality of Godhead as a person. And that also as Krishna. Then it is much more. You need not just devotional service at the level of what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As stated in Bhagavatam, the object of devotional service is Mam, Krishna. And Chaitanya, it is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, to understand Krishna means to understand in his personal form with his internal energy, his external energy, his expansions, his incarnation. So Krishna means everything. That is what. There are many diverse departments of knowledge in understanding Krishna. Sankhya philosophy is especially meant for persons who are conditioned by the material world. So now here onwards, different topic Prabhupada is starting. What he is trying to explain here is why there are many diverse departments of knowledge. Diverse departments of knowledge is why? Because persons who are conditioned by material nature. That is the reason. Because of different conditions, you need different methods. If we study our colleges, like from the school and college, according to our level, the syllabus are made. Similarly, the systems are also like that. It is generally understood by the parampara system or by disciplic section to be the science of devotional service. Preliminary studies of devotional service have been explained. Now the analytical study of devotional service will be explained by the Lord. So basic now is more analyzing. Who says that by such an analytical study one becomes free from modes of material nature. So this is the purpose of analyzing. When we are sitting and reading, slowly we'll be free from modes of material nature. So these chapters are important if you want to get rid of modes of material nature according to Prabhupada. That's why we can very seriously study these chapters. The same assertion is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Tamo tato mam tattvato jnatva. Tattvato means in truth. By understanding Lord according to the various categories, one can become eligible to enter into the kingdom of God. This is also explained here. By understanding the science of devotional service in Sankhya philosophy, one can become free from the modes of material nature. And this is actually what happens. By understanding Sankhya philosophy, one can be free from modes of material nature. The eternal self, after becoming free from the spell of material nature, becomes eligible to enter into the kingdom of God. As long as one have been a slight desire to enjoy or lord it over material nature, there is no chance of his being free from the influence of modes of nature's material modes. Nature material modes is proportionate to what? Our desire to enjoy. Oh, this is important understanding. How long the modes will affect? It is proportionate to our desire. Influence of modes is proportionate to desire to enjoy. If I reduce my desire to enjoy, modes cannot affect me. That's why when we say pure devotees are not affected by modes. Why they are not affected? Because they don't have material desires. All their desires are spiritual desires. So if our desires are spiritual, where is the question of modes? Modes cannot affect. That is the point. If now also to the degree we are developing spiritual desires, we say now spiritual master is beyond modes. Why beyond modes? Because no material desires. Such a simple formula. Therefore, one has to understand the Supreme Personality of God analytically as explained. For us, why we are getting affected is we still have material desires. That's all. ज्ञानं निःश्रेयसार्थाय पुरुषस्यात्मदर्शनं यदाहुर्वर्णयते तत्ते हृदयं गन्धिभेदनम्. Knowledge is the ultimate perfection of self-realization. That means we are suffering because of ignorance. What is ultimately needed for is knowledge only. If we are gaining knowledge, that means we are self-realized. This is not just theoretical knowledge, it's a realized knowledge, vijnana. I shall explain that knowledge upon unto you by which the knots of attachment to the material world are cut. This is a very important knowledge. We also want to cut the attachments. We are suffering because of attachments. And the childhood only the attachment starts for us. We are so attached to our mother, father, brother, sister, house. All these things are cause of our attachment and huge purport from Prabhupada. We'll see what Prabhupada has to say. It is said that by proper understanding of pure self or by self-realization, one can be free from material attachment. See? A proper understanding. That means now what? There is no proper understanding. That's why we are attached. Knowledge leads one to attain the ultimate perfection of life and to see oneself as he is. This is the purpose of knowledge. The Shvetashva Turmison also confirm this. Tvam evam vidvat mrityum eti. Simply by understanding one's spiritual position or by seeing oneself as he is, one can be free from the metal entanglement in various ways just by knowing only. In various ways, the seeing of oneself is described in Vedic literature. It is confirmed in Bhagavatam, Purushasya Atma Darshanam, that one has to see oneself. Why we are not able to see oneself? Because the mirror is full of dust. Once the mirror is clean, I can see myself. And what is that mirror? Chitta is the mirror. The mirror is Chitta. That's why what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's formula? Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Cheta is Darpana. This Chitta is like Darpana, mirror. It is like a mirror. We are not able to see because it is filled with dust. Right? We are not able to see ourselves. Now we have to clean this mirror. How to clean this mirror? Here the process that is given is by gaining this knowledge. This is one method. Another method is chanting the holy name. When we are chanting, we are removing the dust. That is why. there is a question. In previous classes, we came to know that desires are at various levels. We abstain from them grossly by injunctions of scriptures. How can get rid of them from mind and buddhi level? Desires are now very, very subtle. They're not even at the level of mind, they're level of chitta only. That's why it is very difficult, because we have desires for not this lifetime. We have desires for many lifetimes. They're not manifested, that's all. Like what the example we give is a calm lake is there. It looks very calm and serene, but you put a big stick and start stirring or throw a big uh, throw a big stone. Immediately the contaminations in the lake, they start coming out. You'll see so many kachrais coming out because you started stirring. Similarly, I think I don't have desires, but they're so subtle at the level of chitta that we don't know that I have the desire also. They are not manifested. As such, all desires are there. It is not manifested. Now, before they manifest, we want to get rid of it. That is the point. What we are doing, chitta, it is like so many lifetimes I might have desired to become prime minister of a country. So many, I desired it. Now I have to manifest that desire. This lifetime I don't have karma, so I am just humble. Next lifetime that desire will come out. Same thing with our bad karma also. They will manifest after some time because I have done something so many lifetimes back. Only some part of it is given. Another example is given, like you have so much of dough we make for making chapati. And then one chapati you take little from it, make a small ball, and you make a chapati. So we have so much of accumulation, good, bad, and desires and all. This lifetime only small thing is given, and now one one ball is given for this lifetime. Good, bad mix given. That's all. Otherwise, we have accumulated so much. We have so much. Desires are also so subtle. They are not manifested. That's all. Like small child. What you look, you are a small child, now only born, no desires. It's not like that. They are not manifested like that. And how to get rid of it? Yes, same process, by gaining knowledge and by chanting the holy name. Then only we can see. Kapila explains to this seeing can be done by hearing from proper authoritative source. So this seeing can be done by hearing from proper authoritative source. Kapila is the greatest authority because he's the personality God. If someone accepts whatever is explained as without interpretation, then he can see himself. This is the point. The point here is what? Hearing from authority. One of the most important thing. And hearing, I just told, no, we discussed. Hearing is like hearing with humility. There are already we are fixed with certain things. That state of mind is actually makes a difference in hearing. Hearing is proportional to state of mind. That means what it should be? Humility. So if we have humility, we can do much, we can understand in a much better way than what is happening. Now, by like this is the jnana method also, how they clean their chitta by jnana. That is also a way to clean chitta. It's not wrong that by hearing we are not jnanis. No, we are also using this method, but for us that is not main method. Our method is chanting the holy name, and this is directly from Bhagavatam. So whatever Bhagavatam gives, we are doing. We are not going and researching from Jnana Shastras. What is the knowledge which we have to get like? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained to Sanatan the real constitutional position of the individual. He said directly that each and every individual soul is eternally servant of Krishna. So that is the main thing. First, we should know who we are. Then we'll know what to do. Every individual soul is eternally a servitor. And when one is fixed in the understanding that is part and parcel of Supreme Soul, and that his eternal position is to serve in association with the Supreme Lord, he becomes self-realized. This position is is the rightly understanding oneself this rightly understanding oneself, cut the knot of mental attraction. Hridaya gantim bhedam, hridaya ganti bhedam. So this is going to cut. Now, here now, people say Prabhupada is repeating same thing. No, because Prabhupada is talking something different point. It is not the same thing. Here the context is different, the explanation is different, everything is different on it. It's not same thing. Due to false ego or false identification of oneself with body and material world, one is entrapped by Maya. But as soon as one understands that he is qualitatively the same substance as Supreme Lord because he belongs to the same category of spirit, that his perpetual position is to serve, one attains Atma Darshana. This is a very nice point, Prabhupada is telling. He's saying that that his personal perpetual position to serve, when this is understood, then one attains Atma Darshana. So this is our process. Our process of Atma Darshana is what? I just have to understand I am servant. We have got Atma Darshana. Only thing is we have to make a perfect Atma Darshana. We all got this Atma Darshana at one level, at a theoretical level. What is that? I am servant. That's what Prabhupada is trying to explain. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nitya Das. So Atma Darshana for devotee is already attained in one way. We are working with that level only. We are a servant, I am servant only. And but as soon as one understand that he is qualitatively the same substance as Supreme Lord because he belongs to the same category of spirit, and that his perpetual position is to serve, one attains Atma Darshana. One can cut the knot of attachment to material world, his understanding is called knowledge. When one can cut the knot of material, his understanding is called knowledge. Atma Darshana means to see oneself by knowledge. Therefore, when one is free from the false ego, from the cultivation of real knowledge. So we are free from false ego when we get real knowledge. Actually, one line so nicely Prabhupada wrote. He sees himself, and this is the ultimate necessity of human life. The soul is thus isolated from the entanglement of 24 categories of material nature. Pursuit of the systematic philosophical process called Samkhya is called knowledge and self-revelation. We can discuss more on it. We have to move ahead also. Now, Anadiratma Purusho Nirguna Prakrite Paraha Pratyakthama Swayam Jyotir Vishwam Yena Samanvitam. The Supreme Personality of God, it is the Super Soul, and He has no beginning. He is transcendental to the modes of material nature and beyond the existence of material world. He is perceivable everywhere because He is self-effulgent, and by His self-effulgent luster, the entire creation is manifested. Uh, yes, Umakant Prabhu.
Prabhu, there is one small question. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thing is, see, I just wanted to ask one thing. So, whenever a soul is brought into the material world, we are talking about a lot of, I'm seeing that when you're talking a lot about desires. Desires, it is there because desire is the base of everything. But when a soul is coming to the material world, there is a lot of struggle for existence. For example, if I want to get a glass of clean water, if I'm struggling to get eat food properly, proper clean food, eat clean food, I need to get it. I need to stay in a clean society wherein I can get a fresh air. Okay. I also want certain proper medical facilities. I want the children to study in a good school, and they want to go to a good education, and they want to get some good medical facilities. So these are all the basic needs of the society. Thing is that I just want to ask you one thing. So if one soul is deprived of these things, like if I want to get a glass of water, you have seen that movie of Mahesh Babu. He's struggling for getting one glass of water. He was fighting with so many people. So similarly, if we are struggling even for the basic survival, and if my instinct is to get those that glass of water, or to build a house, or to give the proper education, and all my effort is going only for the survival. And if I get something, maybe if I purchase a car after 10 years of struggle, or 10 years of 20 years of struggle, I'm building a house. So don't you think that naturally people will develop a attachment for those items, because it was very difficult for him to achieve those basic needs of life? So you cannot expect somebody who is coming into the material world with full knowledge, like Vyasa's son, and expect him to be a Jivan Mukta. No, no. So Lord, who is sending the souls to the material world, has to at least provide them the stomach full of food, there where they can eat and they can stay in a good house. Then when the stomach is full, then philosophy can be understood. Why these struggles have been kept for the souls, Prabhu, and why we are expecting that desire is wrong, and again we're expecting the jiva to progress in the line of bhakti. Why the situation is so bad here? Why Lord has created such a society wherein each and every soul has to struggle for just a mere existence?
Yeah, good question, bro. Here, we have to understand this struggle started more when our desires have increased. It was not there 500 years ago. 500 years ago, all the rivers in India are clean. All the food in India was organic. All the medical facilities were very nice, in the sense the Ayurvedic doctor used to go to village, and he used to, every village they used to have the Vaidya, and the medical facilities were very advanced, in the they don't need also much, because they are not complicated lives. They didn't have big effect of cancer and all. And that time, the medical way of treating is that if you Vaidya goes to any house, if everybody is healthy in the house, then they have to pay to the Vaidya. If there is sick, then they need not pay. He will treat them and he will go ahead.
Okay.
That means the facilities were very nice in that way. There was education for the children in Gurukuls. 1,000 years back, it was much more better. What happened now, all this system of polluted air, polluted water, struggle for existence, it all started from industrial revolution.
Okay.
Where people's greed started increasing. You are not satisfied with what is happening around your village. People used to stay in a small village and they are self-sufficient. Whatever grows in the village, they were eating. And the water was there. Always the villages were developed near any water source. Either it should be river or a big lake. So all the villages, if you see all the major Vedic cities, they're all on the banks of rivers only. They are not in the middle of some nowhere. No water is there. You have to get it from 1,000 kilometers. Never like that. Either you have village, proper water facility, wells are there, some nice source is there. And in that way, everybody was getting fresh water, fresh air. There is no industries. Everybody was self-sufficient. There were sufficient cows. They got milk, organic, all A2, organic milk, organic and pure. There is no adultery also, because everybody was giving. There is a barter system. You give, you get. In that way, self-sufficiency was there. This all started in Industrial Revolution. After Industrial Revolution in the Europe, people from villages, they left everything and they started going to cities. And in cities, there is scarcity of food because you cannot produce so much in the cities. So they started eating non-veg. Before that, non-veg was not so much. They said, okay, you cannot produce so much. Okay, you will give so much here. No, you kill animals and you give them. In that way, that also increased. So many things that happened is why we are struggling. This is the punishment of the people who entered into this industrial culture, and then now the corporate culture came. That is much more worse. Where everything, you don't treat a person as a person. You treat him as a consumer. You treat him as a sometimes you are a liability, or sometimes you are a no asset. So that's how you are treating people now, and that is why this is a punishment for people who entered into this age, and we are struggling here. And this is Lord did not create. This is based on our desires. We created all these things. Lord is giving everything free. If you think basic things, if you now also you go in a natural setting, water is pure, air is pure, food is pure, milk is there. Everything which is necessary, Lord made it easy. some things which we don't need, na, we have to struggle more. Now, to get milk is easy, but to get a dairy milk chocolate is difficult. You have to make an industry for it.
No,
To
no,
get,
Prabhu. Somewhere I'm not agreeing with you. I'm telling you one thing, one point. I'm telling you, Prabhu. If industry revolution is not happening, no, we will not stay in such a sophisticated society wherein everything is provided. Water is coming in the tap. If you are giving, Lord has given us water. I agree that point. But if you have maintained, if you have remained at some same level as Lord has given, we have not got the water at home. No, when you are pushing tap, water is coming to the home. We are coming down and the lift is working, and lot of thing has been sophisticated because of the industrial revolution. And there are a lot of advantages also in industrial revolution. Maybe disadvantages also there, which is not managed properly. But we cannot have lived a life wherein God has naturally given everything, and we cannot expect to stay under trees, Prabhu. It is not possible, no, at this age. So this is as the yuga is advancing, we are also looking for some kind of benefits. Now, if rain is falling, I'm sitting in a house, and I don't have to walk 25 kilometers to listen to your lectures. I can happily listen to your lecture, and at the same time, I can talk to 30 people. All these revolutions are also having a lot of advantages, no, Prabhu. So we cannot say that naturally because Lord has given everything, and we cannot stay in that same kind of ecosystem which Lord has directly given to us. Because now people have increased over a period of time. So these facilities has made a mandate by the industrial revolution. A lot of things have come into our existence. Even the people are going to US they don't have to travel in a ship where have to 25 days travel is not required. You can go in a flight. So this is also helped, no, Prabhu, in many other ways. So why you have to target on the industrial revolution and also on the technological development? This is not hindering us. Maybe the problem is with our own self, which we are misusing this. But revolution has to occur, no, Prabhu. At one point of time, it has to happen. Change has to happen, no, Prabhu.
I'll explain, bro. Prabhuji, there is you have option in two directions in life.
Okay.
One option is you have a simple living and high thinking.
Okay.
So in this, when Maidanava he told Arjuna, I can give you yantra vidya. Yantra vidya means this technological knowledge. Krishna told Arjuna, don't take it. Now, what is this yantra vidya, na, bro? This comes from this is a knowledge which comes from lower planets. That's different. The point is, you have two ways of living. Like you are staying in a simple setup where you are not that they didn't had buildings. In Vedic culture also they had buildings. In Vedic culture also they had a means of transport. Now the horses can travel with a very great speed and all these things. And they are having some other technologies. They are much more subtler. Now also they are there in a higher planetary system. Now here point is, bro, that now if I opt for a simple living, say now I decided, okay, I'll have a very simple living, then I'll get more time for thinking about the understanding the truth. But if most of my time goes in technological advancement and see here, na, bro, two things are there. One more, physically we are comfortable because all these things which you have mentioned. So now, but mentally, we are sick. We are undergoing so much stress. That is actually what is happening with technology. Like say now, previously I was not able to call my parents every day.
Okay.
Now I can call them every day because of mobile. But now what is happening is, because of the mobile, so many other things are also coming in it. I have so many apps and so much other things which are contaminating my mind. Physically, if I want to go to my mother, I have to travel say 25 kilometers. Now I can just talk to her on phone and I can see her and I can communicate with her. I need not travel 25 kilometers. So physically, I got comfort. All these things which you have mentioned, they are giving so many comfort, like air condition is there. I know you can make a house in 3 months. Now, previously it might have taken maybe 6-7 years because without technology, maybe at least 2 years it takes. Now you can make in 3 months because of technology. That time you have to No, at least quite a good time it might have taken. Now the point is what? The point is now we need not go to a well and take the water out. You not go to real nearby well. I remember in my village, my mother used to go and to get water from the well. That well is for only drinking water. All the village goes there only.
Hmm.
Now, no need. You got physically comfort, and the
Hmm.
water comes to your house. But that problem from the physical level came to the mental level. So karma is anyway there. So your karma, it is transferred. Karma is transferred from physical level to
Hmm.
mental level.
Hmm.
So now all the pain which we are relieving from the physical level, it
Hmm.
is transferring to the mental level because karma is same only, na. So karma
Hmm.
has to manifest. You are
Hmm.
telling I live in a comfortable, you will have AC, but you will be sweating because mind is in tension. That actually what is happening in software company.
Yeah.
Mind isn't. So the karma which we are transferring, all these comforts, luxuries, and all, they
Hmm.
are giving at a physical level so much comforts for us. But
Hmm.
mentally, we are paying for it.
Hmm.
Now, previously, I know, okay, my father had a business. No, he is a business of clothes. And after I become big, I'll continue the business of my father. And
Hmm.
everybody is okay. Now,
Hmm.
somebody is have a carpenter son knows. After that, I have to take over the business.
Hmm.
Somebody is a grocery store, he knows. And when he goes to education and all, he's not in much anxiety. He knows I just have to learn some basic things and then I'll continue. But
Hmm.
now, because it's a corporate level, they may say, no, I have to become something very big. So, this type of desires and this type of things are fed into the society. Unknowingly, people are struggling. You can be happy at that level also, but no, because they want to gain more physical comfort that is considered as success. So, they
Hmm.
are losing their mental peace and now they are losing their high thinking. We instead of simple living and high thinking, we are we are living a very very sophisticated life and hardly thinking. People are hardly thinking about what is the purpose of life, who am I, what should I do, how should I go ahead, how to come out of these sufferings. People are hardly thinking about it. They don't even have a basic understanding of God and about themselves because they don't have time to think because they are living a very sophisticated life. But our formula is simple living and high thinking. So there is a difference. So if you want a simple living, then we need not make so much. Whatever advancement they have made, we utilize it. But for us, we have to be always very simple because we want to think in a higher level. Now the advancement which are made and which is done is giving a sophisticated life, but it is not allowing people to think because your time and energy is going in that sophisticated living only to maintain it and to create it and to achieve it. That's how all our time and energy is spent. Where people now, children, you say, okay, can you sit and hear Bhagavad Gita 1 hour? 1 hour for children, third, fourth, first class, 10th class. They cannot give 1 hour per day to sit and hear Bhagavad Gita. Why? They have schools, they have tuitions, they have their assignments, and then and hardly they get time to play also. Why it happened? Because they want to go sophisticated life. We created like that. This whole society is programmed in such a way. It is not the fault of technology also. It's the fault of the greed of living entities. And we cannot utilize it properly. This is the trick of Maya. It gives some, like small children, you give some toys, they'll play whole day with the toys and then they don't disturb the mother. Similarly, Maya also, no? Okay, don't disturb, you just play with all these toys. Or mobile is given, laptop is given, TV is given, and some other things are given, and people are happily playing with it, and they're least bothered about purpose of life. Technology is not wrong in itself, but we are not eligible to, not everybody has the eligibility to utilize it. That's why Krishna told Arjuna not to take Yantra Vidya because it's a distraction. If you are not like, no, if your daughter is there, they're studying now you give them mobile and say, okay, it's yours, nice mobile, nice laptop. We know if they're not eligible, you give them, what will happen? They'll lose their career. So one is shreyas, one is prayas. Prayas is immediate benefit, shreyas is long term benefit. So all these things and technology, they are giving immediate benefit, but long term benefit cannot be achieved by it. Long-term benefit is simple living, high thinking only. Why the sages want to live in a very simple setup in the forest and all? Because they want more time for thinking for themselves. Lomash Rishi, he was just without a cottage, he was meditating, and somebody said, "Why don't you make a cottage?" And he said, "Oh, where is the time for making a cottage? Life is very short." And he says that his whole body filled with hairs only, and it is said that every day of Brahma, one hair is lost, and as long as he has hairs in the body, he will survive. He has such a long life, but he says, "Oh, life is very short." That means for them, the purpose of life and all these things, they are very important for them. They don't want, like all the Goswamis. They were ministers at Nawab Hussain Shah and all. They left everything and they are staying in Vrindavan. Why is it? Because they're having something else as the purpose in life. Now the purpose of life for people is to enjoy. You are making all these complicated things and we are entangling ourselves. I am not against technology. We are utilizing the technology, but we should be eligible to utilize it. If you are not self-controlled and technology is given, we'll only misuse. Whole day people are watching movies because they are not having sense control. Then they are whole day watching movies and then they're destroying their life. But if somebody is no, okay, this is having a limit, then he will protect himself. So that is the point.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Next.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, this is a different topic, but it is needed also. Here, his Purusha, the supreme spirit. Purusha means person. When we think of person in our present experience, that person has a beginning. This is a very important point. So why Mayavadis don't accept, or impersonalists don't accept Lord as a person? This is the problem. When we think of a person, that person has a beginning. This means that why na? Because we have our own understanding of things. We go with logic. At our present level, we go with logic. So logically, if a person means he should have a beginning. Person means he has a size, he should have a shape, he should have a beginning. Means that he has taken birth and there is a history from the beginning of his life. So this is means a person. But Lord is particularly mentioned as Anadi, beginningless. If we examine all persons, whoever we are seeing around, now everybody has beginning. We all find everyone has. But when we approach a person who has no beginning, he is the supreme personality of God. That is Prabhupada's logic. That is the definition given by Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna. The definition is found in all the. He is without beginning and is beginning of everyone. The Lord is described as soul or spirit. What is the definition of spirit? Spirit is perceivable everywhere. This is another important thing. Sarva, spirit, it is a so subtle thing, it can be perceived everywhere. Brahman means great. Like solid, if you take, for example, if you take I will try to explain this. If you take solid, it is at one place. You cannot have table here also, there also. If you take water, more subtler than solid, it is earth is, it is air. It is at one place. And then water. So if you take water, it is also a particular place. It may not have shape, but it is at particular place, right? So one place. It has limitation. It can spread in the room whole where you pour water, it can go limited. And if you take fire, fire is what? Fire also, it is having some limit. It may spread in the air here, there. It is also having little more. Now, air can be everywhere. More subtler you take, more it is it is spreading. So it is perceived everywhere. So air is much more subtler than ether. Ether is much more subtler. Now you go then manas, buddhi, ahankar, and then comes the spirit. So it is much more subtler. That's why it is everywhere. And what to speak of the Supreme Spirit? Sarvata Panipadam Tat Sarvatopi Shiromukam Sarvata Smritiman Loke Sarvama. As a person is present everywhere. Not just as an energy is present. You understand the difference. When air is present everywhere, when solid is at one place, water is at limited, fire is also okay. But fire, you can experience the heat to some extent. It can go for a little far, okay, because of fire you get the heat. And air, much more spreading everywhere. It is there in the cupboard also, it is there everywhere in the room. And ether, it is much subtler and more subtle. That means in the form, the Supreme Lord can be everywhere. That is what is subtler and subtler, more and more it is. We have personal experience of consciousness. So, Brahman means great. The greatest is perceived everywhere. And what is that greatness? Consciousness. Now the soul, everywhere you can experience in the body. When you are touching, you can know that somebody is touching me. How? Because of the soul only. There is prana. From the soul, the prana is transformed. The consciousness is transformed. That's why we are able to perceive. And that's why Krishna is telling Kshetragnyor Jnanam. Etat Jnanam Matam. Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. So he's telling, I know about you know about your body, but I know about all bodies because Supreme Consciousness. We have personal experience of consciousness, for it is spread all over the body. In every hair follicle of our body, we can feel consciousness. This is individual consciousness. Similarly, there is super consciousness. The example can be given of a small light and sunlight. Sunlight is perceived everywhere within the room or in sky, but the sunlight is experienced within small light can be expressed. Similarly, our consciousness is perceived within the limit of our particular body, but the supreme consciousness or the existence of God is perceived everywhere. Is present everywhere by his energy. Energy also personally also. It is stated in Vishnu Puran that whatever we find anywhere and everywhere is the distribution of energy of Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is confirmed that the Lord is all pervading, exists everywhere by two kinds of energy, one spiritual, one material. And both spiritual and material energy spread everywhere. The proof of the existence of Supreme Person. So he is present in his personal form also. And Prabhupada is telling, the existence of consciousness everywhere is not temporary. It is without beginning. And because it is without beginning, it is also without end. The theory that the consciousness developed at certain stage of metal combination is an atheistic theory. Is not accepted here, sorry. And for the consciousness which exists everywhere is said to be without beginning. Such a simple logic. I don't know why the scientists don't understand that gross things does not come from the subtle things. Subtle don't come from gross. That is not possible. Anything that is happening gross, subtler, it should be manifesting from subtle things only. That is where they make the mistake in their formulas. They start from gross and go to subtle. We start from subtle, come from gross. So the beginning is wrong. We start from 1, they start from 0. Even though it is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. They're starting with 0 and we start with 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. So that is the main difference. The materialists are theistic theory stating that there is no soul, that there is no God, and that consciousness is a result of combination of matter is not acceptable. Matter is not beginningless, it has a beginning. As this material body has a beginning, the universe does also. And as our material body has a beginning on the basis of our soul, the entire gigantic universe has a beginning on the basis of super soul. So that is the main difference for them. We start with super soul and then we create the universe. But whereas the scientists, they start from zero and create the universe. So 0 to 1, and we are from 1 to 0. So that is what they say, from nothing something is created. We say no, from something only all this is created, this material nature. So that is the main difference. The materialistic theory stated that there is no soul and there is no God, and that consciousness is a result of combination matter are not accepted. And the entire material exhibition, this creation, grow, maintenance, dissolution, everything Krishna is saying, it is under my direction. And the Supreme Personality of God is described here. He is not a temporary person, nor does he has a beginning. He is without a cause and is a cause of all causes. When Prabhupada is telling this, he's telling in a different context. So that's why it has a different effect on us. If you read the way Prabhupada is giving. The Lord is a creator. He can see that there is creative energy in the world, but he's not under this energy. Prakriti para. So Lord is beyond this. And Lord is Swayam Jyoti. He's light himself. He don't need. And sunlight is also, his light is Brahma Jyoti. And Brahma Jyoti, sun is reflecting the light of Brahma Jyoti. Prabhupada writes. Sunlight is also a reflection of Brahma Jyoti. So, yeah. And similarly, Brahmajyoti, the spiritual effulgence is a reflection of the body of Supreme Lord. Yasya Prabha Prabhavato, that is coming from Supreme Lord. This term Swayam Jyoti indicate that there is no tinge of anything material or any material reactions in the Supreme Lord. So this is all Golok Eva Nivasati Akilatma Bhuta, all the points in the shloka Prabhupada is explaining the Parvat. Then he says, Sayesha Prakritim Sukshmam Daivim Gunamayim Vibhu Yadrichayvopapagatam Abhyapadyat Leelaya. As is pastime, the Supreme Personality of God, the greatest of great, accepted the subtle metal energy which is invested with three material modes of nature, which is which is related with Vishnu. So here, as pastime, what is doing? Supreme, the great, accepted the subtle material energy, which is invested with modes. Now, how this comes? This is directly the chit potency only. It is only coming as Mahatattva only, Pradhan. So it's actually from the spirit, everything. Subtle energy which is invested with three material modes of nature. In this verse, the word Gunamay is very significant. Daivi means the energy of personality of God. Gunamay means invested with three modes of nature. When the material energy of Supreme Personality appears, this Gunamay energy acts as a manifestation of energy of three modes. It acts as a covering. This conception of three modes is very special in Vedic knowledge, which is not there in any other philosophies. We are special in terms of these three modes. Three modes, it can answer many questions about creation, about problems of life, about the situations, about the mentalities. This is a very unique contribution, if you say in terms of knowledge. The knowledge about three modes, it is not there in any other philosophies in the world. This is speciality of Bhagavad Gita also, we can say. Three modes of material nature explained, which gives a very clear understanding of us, of what this world is, how it works. Why many of the Western philosophers, they cannot explain many of the questions because they don't know this concept. And this is the creation of Lord, which He's in the beginning of creation only, our starting only with three modes. And so here the subtle material energy. Now Kapil Dev is going to explain all these things in detail, but Prabhupada is explaining everything. So when the material energy of the Supreme Personality appears, this Gunamai energy acts as a manifestation of the energies of three modes. It acts as a covering. The energy emanated from the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests in two ways: as an emanation from Supreme Lord and as a covering of the Lord's face. So these are the it manifests in two ways: Avaranatmika and Prakshipa, emanating, covering Lord's face, Hiranmayena Patrena. It is said that because the whole world is illusioned by three modes of mental nature, the common conditioned soul, being covered by such energy, cannot see the personality of God. The example of a cloud is very nicely given. All of a sudden, there may appear a big cloud in the sky, whatever. In Hyderabad, it's all cloudy. The cloud is perceived in two ways. To the sun, the cloud is a creation of its own energy, but for the ordinary common man, it is a conditioned state. It is covering the eyes because of the clouds, the sun cannot be seen. It is not that the sun is actually covering the cloud, sir, actually covered by cloud, only the vision. So it is a very nice logic that is always explained. Even though illusion is created by the Lord, but the living entity wanted the illusion. So if you see the living entity, so there is a big cloud and there is sun. Now the sun only creates the cloud and we are covered. Now you may say, Are, I am kept in illusion. And that's why I'm not able to see the Supreme Lord because of illusion. And who created the illusion? Lord only created the illusion. But why? Because I wanted it. I can be in illusion, then only I can enjoy. That's all. Those conditioned souls who are covered are individual living entities, and for him, whose energy Maya has created, it is Supreme Lord. In another place, Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, Vyasdev by his spiritual, first canto, 7th chapter, Vasudev sees this. This indicates that the material energy cannot cover the Lord, just as darkness cannot cover the sun. Darkness can cover jurisdiction which is very insignificant in compared to sun. Darkness can cover a small cave, but not the open sky. Similarly, the covering capacity of material energy is limited. Very nice example. So you are in a very dark cave, you go inside, sunlight may not enter. That means darkness is covering only small, it has very limited capacity. Similarly, the Maya Devi cannot cover the Supreme Lord, who is therefore Vibhu. As the appearance of cloud is accepted by sun, so the appearance of material energy at certain level is accepted by the Lord. You understand the logic? So very. Maya can cover only some part. It cannot cover the Supreme Lord. As a darkness can make in the room, in the switch on of the light, no, in some part of my room it is dark. But the darkness is only affecting that part. It cannot affect the sun. So the Lord accepts the material nature for his material pastimes in creation, maintenance, but the conditioned soul is covered. He cannot understand that beyond this material energy, beyond that cave, we cannot understand. We have to come out of the cave to see the sun. Just as less intelligent person cannot understand beyond the covering of cloud, there is bright sun. So that is our situation. गुणैर्विचित्रैर्सृजता सृजतीं स्वरूपा प्रकृतिं प्रजा विलोक्य मुमुहुः सत्य स ह्य ज्ञानगुह्यया. Divided into varieties of her threefold modes, material nature creates the form of living entities, and living entities sees this are illusioned by knowledge, covering features of illusory energy. So huge purport. We'll not be able to cover today. We'll take it tomorrow. Thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? We'll end here.